Alrighty, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're here with the week 2 tips. What a fantastic first week of finals it was. And now we are left with 6 teams. So we're gonna go ahead and do our week 2 predictions. We're gonna look at our week 1 predictions as well. See how we went with those. But yeah, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe as usual. Really appreciate you guys. And yeah, let's just crack right into it. Alrighty, so that's it. Week 1 of finals is now over. I mean, this is being already widely regarded as one of the best first weeks of finals. Every single game was just amazing, pretty much. I'd say in the end, it was probably the Melbourne-Sydney game that was probably the least entertaining. I mean, it was a great, first 3 quarters, but Sydney obviously got a hold of Melbourne in the end there. But the other 3 were just absolute thrillers, pretty much right to the end. So I suppose we'll start with left and work our way to the right. So the Geelong-Collingwood qualifying final, what a game it was. I mean, it was back and forth all day. You guys would have seen my match day vlog yesterday. If you haven't, be sure to go check that out. But like my predictions that I made, I did predict that Geelong would beat us, and it came so close. I thought we may have actually pulled what would have been one of the biggest upsets of the year. We came close. We didn't do it, but man, it was a very, very impressive effort and something that I'm pretty proud of our boys for, staying in the fight for the whole day. A lot of people tipped us to get absolutely flogged and, thought this was going to be our wake-up call game. But yeah, I think if anything, we really proved why we did finish in the top 4, because we can go with the best teams. But yeah, Geelong, they matched us, and ultimately they were more polished, and they did better than us at the end of the day there. Jeremy Cameron and Rowan stood up. But yeah, I think it was a very good game. A much, much better performance than when we played them in round 3 and we couldn't stick with them all day. So that's something I'm really happy about. And it gives me confidence going in the next week. So yeah, my prediction there was correct for Geelong. But my tip, I did obviously tip the Pies, if you've seen that video. So yeah, so in the elimination final 2, this is another one that I predicted wrong. I thought the Bulldogs were going to get over the line. And well, I mean, this was looking like one of the all-time great tips at the very start of the game, because the Dogs got out to what I think was a 41-point lead. I thought their premiership experience and their finals experience in recent years was going to get them over the line. And it seriously looked like it was going that way until all of a sudden, Freo decided to wake up in the second half of this game. And towards, I think they kicked 3 or 4 goals in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the second quarter, and they're right back in it. I remember I was listening to this game in the car on the way home from the qualifying final of the Pies and the Cats, and I was like, wow, this may end up being the one final that was a bit of a dud out of this first round, because it was all of them were going amazing. Well, they were all amazing games so far, and I thought, yeah, this might be the one that's sort of a blowout. But no, Freo did not let that happen. They woke up in that second quarter, and I actually listened to I think it was a Triple M interview with Sean Darcy, and they were just sort of wondering, like, is there any chance you guys thought that you could win the game? And I think he was saying that James Aish actually said that, we've lost a grand final from this position, so, why is it not possible? And they absolutely just flipped the game on their head, Freo. I don't know what it is. I mean, it just shows how much of, AFL is up and down and how quickly things can change. Phenomenal, really. Absolutely insane. Mundy's going to play on for another week, and the Dockers obviously going to be playing my Pies next week. So, ripping game. I don't know what happened to the Doggies, but they just couldn't get things rolling again after Freo get a handle of them. They were just shutting down all their corridor movement, and their forward line just, I don't know, it just looked like it switched off. Like, it was seriously one of the all-time, comebacks. I think it was the second biggest comeback in finals history. So, yeah, amazing there. The first game they ran on the Thursday night, I did the stream of this, was the Brisbane and Richmond elimination final. I mean, everyone, this was like the highest scoring game I've seen in a very long time, especially in a final. It was goal for goal pretty much the whole game. I think the most goals from either side kicked in a row was 2. I don't think it ever exceeded that, and the margin was no more than like 15 points for majority of the game. What a performance it was from both sides, really. It was one of those games where you just wonder how there even was a loser, because Richmond may have lost that game, but they certainly didn't play bad at all or lose any fans over that. But Lions finally won one of these close finals, obviously losing that 1-point game last year. It would have been a tragedy if they had lost another close one. And Danaher obviously sealed the game in the last minute, got them over the line in that. So, one of those games where, Lions fans are probably going to be watching that back for a while. Magnificent final to start the rounds. And then on the Friday night, we had the Melbourne and the Swans game. This was another one. This started off as a Melbourne game. How you expect any Melbourne game to go. And it was really them playing at their best in the first quarter and probably most of the second quarter as well. They had that defensive game where they were just restricting Sydney from getting any flow on the ball. Their pressure was just getting eliminated by Melbourne's defense and being able to lock it in their forward half and rebounding it in and out. And that's basically how the first two quarters went until Sydney just hunted and hunted. They hunted for the whole game, to be fair to Sydney, and their pressure was insane for most of the game. But after that second quarter, it just broke Melbourne down and they couldn't keep going with Sydney any longer. And they just got over the top, Sydney. Their small forwards are incredible. Like Papley, I think it was Warner. I think Heaney had a quiet game. I apologize. I don't know too many. I don't know the Sydney players as much as I know the other ones, but their forward line is absolutely it's deadly. You give any of their players half a second and they're just snapping it out of loose balls and crumbs from their forward 50, just like that. It's incredible. I think that was an upset win as well. There were some people who thought the Swans could win, to be fair. But yeah, they got that over and they're obviously straight through to a prelim. So that was last round. For the semi-finals here, we obviously have the Pies and the Dockers. Now, I'm going to be honest. This was a prediction that I made, and I'm going to stick with my prediction that I think the Pies are simply too good to go out in straight sets here, especially after that performance that we put up against Geelong. If Geelong are the best team in it and we lost by a kick, that says a lot. It seriously says a lot. I think, this was one of those games that seriously just reassures to us that our brand does stack up against the best at the toughest of times when the stakes are on the line. Obviously, we didn't get the dub or the win in that game, but I think we definitely can against the Dockers, and I'm confident that the boys can get it done. Obviously, Freo had a magnificent performance as well, but if they're going to play and, let their first two quarters slip like they did last week, then I think the Pies here should be pretty comfortable with getting a win. I hope we can win this. I think we will. It's not like one of those games that I've gotten for an absolute lock. I'm not at all writing off Freo, and I give them a big chance in this game, of course. But you know what? We bet them by 40-something points on their home deck at the beginning of the year, and I think we're going to go ahead and do it again. As I said in my prediction video, I think we're just too good to go out in straight sets from the season we've had. But it seriously wouldn't be beyond me for the Dockers to get a win here. So I'm not going to act like there's no chance at all. They're playing with some real spirit. That's one of those games that you would have almost imagined Collingwood to pull off earlier in the year, or, in the last few months, coming back from, 20, 25 points in the last quarter. But Freo, 40 points, that's seriously impressive. So they're going to have some real belief. And if they're down at any point in the game, there is no way they're going to drop their heads at all. So that is something they're going to, hold by them very, very closely for the rest of this final series. But I'm going to go ahead and tip the Pies here. I've got to. It was a performance that I just can't doubt them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go with the Pies here and stick with my predictions. But yeah, if we had gotten smacked in that Geelong game, I would have definitely gone Freo after seeing their comeback. But yeah, that's my tip there for the first semi-final. Of course, I'm going to have a vlog for that game as well. Now, moving on to semi-final 2 here for the second game this is on the Friday night at the MCG. Both games obviously being at the MCG this round. We've got the D's taking on the Lions here. Now, the Lions obviously played a super, super offensive game against Richmond, and it was one of those games where it was goal for goal, as we know. I highly doubt that this game is going to go the same way. I believe, I know earlier in the year when they played, the Lions were the highest ranked offensive team and Melbourne were the highest ranked defensive team. So you've got two completely different play styles here and game styles going up against each other. And Melbourne have just got some, they've got some really good form against the Lions in the last few outings. I mean, it was only, 3-4 weeks ago where the D's absolutely demolished the Lions at the MCG. And they're back here again. And if the Lions had have won that game and broken their MCG hoodoo, I might have given them a chance here. And I'm sorry to the Lions fans, because I know it's sort of like the Lions fans have not been given a chance at all in their last MCG games, and especially against Melbourne. But there's just no reason, and there's no way I can see the Lions winning this game when they just haven't been able to do it at the MCG. There was that Richmond game, and there was the last Melbourne game. I mean, there is a way, of course, if the Lions seriously look at the way Sydney handled Melbourne and overwhelmed them with their pressure and just kept coming at them constantly, forcing the turnover, forcing mistakes and getting them on that rebound, then, there's definitely a way the Lions can do that. So it's going to be interesting, but to be honest, and I don't want to say this because it feels like they're almost, I'm going to take out a leaf out of Ed Langdon's book. It almost feels like they're a one-trick pony in terms of it's just like goal for Brisbane. And if they don't have the ball in their hands and they're not scoring, they can't really seem to defend other teams. So I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go Lions here, the Melbourne here, sorry. I'm going to go the D's here. I'm pretty confident in this, but, you guys are going to come at me if I get this wrong. But, yeah, I mean, let me know your tips and, all that for this game. But I just struggle to see a way where the Lions can, capitalize with their ball in hands. And Melbourne are just that team when they don't have the ball, they defend so well, and they just keep breaking you down until they get the ball back, and then they do their thing where they just lock it down. Melbourne's defense just incredible. It's still stuck in my head from the first two quarters earlier in the year when we played them last round. But yeah, they're my two tips there for the semi-finals. Let me know down below what you guys think. I'm going to be streaming this Melbourne Lions game, so make sure you guys catch that as well. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down below. That is pretty much it for the video. Make sure you guys go check out yesterday's vlog if you haven't already. And as always, leave your tips down below, guys. I want to get, your thoughts and opinions as well. Why you think I might be wrong with these tips, etc. Leave them all down below. I'm interested in hearing it. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, all that. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's it for the video. Bye-bye.